Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. Hope you're all doing well. Back here in the hills of Tuscany and just jumping into the work today as we do every day. There's always something to do on the farm because the VIPs have got us hopping. So I am going to run over and get some silage here and move it over to my TMR mixer, because I do need to start churning out some more of that. So I should hopefully have a good amount of silage to come out, unless I've totally forgotten what I was doing before, but I think we're good. So we'll let this fill up. So I am going to circle around here because otherwise it's just too sharp of a turn to try to get in here appropriately. So we'll be able to get that taken care of, but we're getting down to about 13,000 liters of TMR, so I want to definitely try to get a little bit more over there if I can. But if we take a look at the cows, we're coming up on 20,000 liters of milk, but definitely, struggling to get to the point that we need. So if you're new to the series, the VIP Order Manager is the main driver of the activity that I do here. Absolutely a mod that I love. If you play single player of any kind and you have not tried this mod, I would highly, highly recommend you do so. It just changes your focus of your gameplay entirely, and absolutely I love it. I do make some changes sometimes, what I've learned in how the mod works and so forth, and I've done so in this series. I'd encourage you to go back to the first episode, or actually I think it may be in the introduction episode, the one I called episode 0. I think I cover some of the changes I made to the mod per what my goals are here and what I'm trying to do. So I'm not going to reiterate that there. For those who care, there is a way for you to see. But we're looking at milk and 77,000 liters, so I still need another 57,000 liters. So I'm anticipating that there's going to be some work around these cows, because we don't have really large barns, and frankly, when I looked at barns, when I was working on my animal sizing and making some changes here in what was happening. Let's see, I got hung up somewhere in the back there, of course. Oh boy. Alright. This is always fun sometimes, where things just don't come out. Come on, what is it, a light? I mean, I assume it's something similar on the opposite side too. Alright. See if we can pull in and maybe get through things a little bit and try that. Let's see. Alright. Now we'll see if we can get out, but you'd think this opening would be big enough, but clearly I am incapable of driving appropriately. I still almost hung up there. That back end just really swings out. There's not any way to describe it any differently. But at this point, I'm good for a bit, so we're going to place that there, and we'll let things churn along. But yes, I think I'm going to need to do some grass work, and that may be what we end up focusing on today, so that is yet to be determined. So let me shut off my tractor so it's not in the back of our ears. Alright, that's my alfalfa straw and straw, so I don't have any more straw. But yes, this is driving what we need here. So we've moved on to the next month, day, as we've talked about, depending how you refer to it, at the end of the last episode. So I'm going to go ahead and, take a look at my greenhouses, my tomatoes, my lettuce, so forth, make sure things are going. But at this point, I think we're just kind of churning along in the activity to just move along. So let me do that. Alright, so at this point we're getting pretty full on the tomato storage. So one of the mods I have running is a pallet spawn mod that multiplies or condenses the pallet storage so that you can get a lot more pallets out, because I knew in this series we'd have a lot of that. Lettuce just takes more time, and that's good because lettuce is the one we're waiting on for a while. So if you're unfamiliar with how this works, I can't fill any of these level 7 orders until I'm done with level 6. If I started delivering lettuce to the farmer's market, it'll obviously take it, just as any normal sell process, but it's not going to count toward a VIP order. So I'm just basically staging my work as any manufacturing facility or anything like that, anybody that's doing things that take some time would do. And similarly to the tomatoes, but the tomatoes are due on this level. So once these start to fill up, and then obviously then start to store, because I'll be able to get a little bit more, so I'm not really that worried about it because I can still get 1,000 liters out. And then I can begin storing some tomatoes internally, and then they'll just pop out. And I'm trying to remember, I think it was like 30,000 liters that will show up outside those greenhouses. So I'm going to need several full productions of that, and those have been running, I think, for well over a year to get where they're at already. Maybe less time than that. It seems like it's been many, many episodes since we've looked at that. But I think this is going to be episode 14, so I suppose it wouldn't have been many, many months, because I think this may actually be the first year we're rolling over and we've done other things. So, alright, and popping over here to the floor tile factory. Looks like we're getting some production out, so we've got it's 1,000 pieces per normal, so we've got 5,000 pallets output, a little bit more, or 5,000 liters are being done. That is against 16,000, so we have a long way to go. We've only got 1,451 long planks. I think we'll have gotten a little bit more produced here. Oh, actually quite a bit more. So I am going to go ahead and we're going to get those moved over so that we can just make sure everything keeps running. But that's kind of the cycle I'm in absolutely right now, is just before I jump in and do any work, the first things I want to do every morning are just make sure everything's queued up and ready to go. Alright, so that actually puts us in a position that's better than when we started. So we've got 4,400 liters. That's going to produce about 8,000 liters, because it's in essence doubling. It's almost going to produce 9,000 liters. So we'll be right up there. I think we'll be good with our production, and I think I did calculate back and make sure I had enough wood. We're probably going to have extra, because you can see we're almost ready to spit out another group. We may be done here. It does appear that we are, so we're going to deactivate this for now. So we've got 892 long planks ready to go on top of that, but that should get us where we need there. And at this point, wheat is growing, potatoes are growing, where we can get fried potatoes. I did make sure that the onions were still producing out of the greenhouse that we need for the potato processing. We don't have any fields yet where we can plant canola, so at this point we are absolutely waiting for things to be done where we can harvest. So that field we're looking at there is one we planted yesterday. Potato fields in between as 11. Can't quite see it with the overgrowth here in the parking lot. Not really a point in spending time landscaping or whatever, because we're just going to continue to plop down buildings here as the VIPs need more things. And maybe at the end we'll tidy everything up and make it look presentable, but right now I can do what I need to do without worrying about all of that. So yes, at this point I think I'm going to jump over to my grass field. I am fully ready to harvest. I think I would have been a day or two ago as well. But I am going to go ahead, and at this point I'm going to need a little bit of hay, because basically hay and silage run at the same pace. So I'm going to want to turn some of this into hay and some of this into just leave it as raw grass. So we're going to hop in here. We've kind of got all our grass equipment staged around the field here, because this has become our grass field. That started again a few episodes back when we first saw we needed the milk here for level 6 and started up the dairy operation. So there's a little bit of challenge here where we do end up having problems with that utility pole. So I do need to get around there at some point. I'll worry about that when that starts to happen. But yes, at this point We're just going to go ahead and get this mowed up. And then, as I said, I'm going to toss some of it to turn it into hay. We'll get it collected up, baled up in that case, get that over to the TMR mixer, because that's really the only thing I need hay for at this point. And we'll start getting some raw grass into silage as well. So I'm going to go do this grass work for a bit, and I'll see you in a little while. So just hopping back in here at this point as we are moving along. So I have got the grass going, I've got silage moving, I've got everything converted to hay. I brought one load of hay over, just keep everything moving, and I'm now taking a full load of TMR over because we're down to about 9,000 liters here for the cows. So just bringing you along for a little bit here as we get things done, just to give you some variety of things to look at and see how we're going. But yeah, it's definitely feeling much more like just standard farm work at this point. Like, I'm just keeping things, you know, running through a million things every day. This is always hard to get out. And I think at this point, because I know the silage is getting low, I'm going to run around here and just see how much silage I can grab. And that way we can keep things flowing, because we're only at 21,000 liters of milk. Obviously, I would prefer to not have to just be doing a ton of grass work here, but got to do what we need to do to get this done. Alright, so it appears we've only got about a little over 37,000 liters of silage. So we're going to end up... I am not enjoying this vehicle. It's effective, it's high capacity, but with that swinging rear end, it is just causing me all kinds of havoc. I don't know how else to explain it. But at this point, then, we're going to be 47,000. Got plenty of straw. We've got almost another load of TMR. I'm hoping that with all of this, as this now produces some more, that this will be good enough to get enough TMR to go ahead and get that milk fully produced. Because at this point, I should, I think, be able to get another 2 loads, so almost 100,000 liters of TMR. And I would hope that can turn into, with the 47,000 I just put in, so we're almost at 150,000 liters of TMR. I would hope I could turn out 50,000 liters of milk out of that food. Our floor tile factory is still humming along. Alright, lastly, wanted to give you a view of what we have left. So we've got 4 or 5 rows here of hay. I'm assuming it's probably 1 or 2 more loads, but that's where things sit right now. I'll see you in a bit. Well, here we are in April, and we are gonna grab this. There we go. I don't need fabric to be accepted here, but I see what's going on. It's like we're crossing the drop-off point and the other one. Ay, ay, ay. Gotta love it. And that car. Gotta love it, too. Alright, so the good news is the tailor shop, we've got a little more room here. At least around it. It's still a nightmare to get in. Alright, there we go. 1,000 fabric. Oh boy. We have room, but we don't have room. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, so that's the first order of truck business this morning. And the next is the fact that when I woke up this morning and did my daily checks, we have got, of course, a tree. No, we have got tomatoes that need to be moved because they are now full. Alright, out of there. So let me get over to the greenhouses And we'll load up all the tomatoes, because, yeah, it actually... I don't know that I knew, because I certainly have not let the greenhouses run to their full capacity, but I did not realize that the greenhouses have 2,000 liters of storage in them. So I thought they'd be able to keep a little bit, because I think the regular greenhouses do hold at least 4,000 or 5,000. So yeah, that was really surprising, but it's full, because I knew it was getting close. Like, again, I knew we had 1,000 to get out there, but I didn't think there was any chance, given that it was maybe doing 3,000 or 4,000 a day. I didn't think it'd get full by just sleeping since I finished the hay and so forth. So I've got nearly a full amount of hay in the TMR mixer. Silage is producing, as we talked about, plus there's some in there. I did take another full load was available of TMR over to the cow barn, so that is basically full at this point. Right, so the big challenge here is going to be the fact that it can pick up either lettuce or tomatoes, so I need to be really in the right place to start picking things up. So there we go. It started grabbing tomatoes. I think once I kind of trigger that, I think I'm okay. Before that, I think it's kind of iffy. So I'm gonna keep kind of moving up. Obviously, once it drops the ones in the back off, I'll move up a little bit. I'm worried it's not actually grabbing the rest. Oh, well, now we've got the other ones that spewed out so that they can start producing. Is that one not going? The last one, really? Oh boy, oh boy. Because yes, I'm pretty sure I can fill this. And what I may do, because I don't really need anything else, is I may just leave the truck here, and we'll just kind of let the tomatoes do their thing. So now it's going to take several rows of them, because I think, like I said, we're going to get like 16,000 or something. It's not going to be... I was thinking 30,000, but now that I look at this, I think that's wishful thinking, because I'm pretty sure it's the same for both layers, because it's 2 pallets deep. But yeah, it's going to be like 18,000. So when we're talking about 83,000 liters of tomatoes, we're going to be waiting a while, which is really disappointing for how these things work. But again, this is part of what we discover as we're using the mods and so forth. So, I mean, these are high volume greenhouses, so it's certainly faster than what I would have done otherwise, but it's obviously still pretty challenging, because we're gonna, get 16,500 here, which means we had 14,500 out there, but this took a long time. I mean, so I think there's going to be a lot of waiting. So we may very much be in the position we were before, that I'm going to be able to progress. What I'm probably going to want to do eventually with the lettuce is, oh boy. Come on. Ugh. Just gotta get yourself free of things. It's just insanity. That's all it is insanity. No, because what I think I can do, and that may be what I'll do right now. I mean, if I need anything, I'll go drop it off. But I think what I'm literally going to do is park this here. And then as things come out, I would hope it would trigger and it would just kind of load onto the truck. But that means that's what we have here. And while we need less lettuce, we still need a lot of it, and many, many days worth of it. But that gets us to where we can be right now. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do next. I'll see you in a bit. So we're here in the next day, and here we can finally see the potatoes are ready to go. So that is going to be what we've been trying to get to. Alright, so remember what we talked about yesterday? That when we need the truck, we'll need the truck. We probably need the truck. So we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A little over 8,000 liters of wool here. But the spinnery is out of wool. So you can see we basically loaded 3,000 liters. And I basically did what you saw me do, and then I went and moved forward a day. I slept 24 hours basically. So we're basically generating 3,000 liters of tomatoes out of here a day, which means for 80 some thousand liters I am going to need not quite 30 days, but that's basically, you know, 2.5, 3 years just waiting for tomatoes. So it's like that quiet laugh of craziness. But we got to go to the 0 kilometer shop. We know where that is. That's back near home. So I am going to go ahead and get myself there, and then go ahead and move this wool over to the spinnery. And then I guess we'll be parked over at the spinnery again, but we also then know we basically have 5-6 months here. So probably in the fall, October, November, I need to worry about tomatoes being ready, and basically, you know, not that many tomatoes. 15,000, 16,000 liters of tomatoes. So, yeah. Alright, so the 0 kilometer shop is the one here. I'm going to try to come in this way. I've not had to do any delivery with a truck, but I think trying to come down that road and get in that arch would be very, very challenging. So we're going to try to avoid what we can do. But there we go. Our first level 6 order is being fulfilled. So praise, we're finally at the point we are doing something. But wow, this is going to be some work. And it's possible between the time we get the fried potatoes and the milk and all of that, you know, we've still got, because at this point we still have 3-4 months till the wheat would be ready to harvest, and that's assuming we have enough fields to have 175,000 liters of wheat. Oh good. We can't fit. Gotta love it. Alright, I'm gonna get myself out of here. Alright, we got some room here between the buildings, assuming we can actually make this turn. But yeah, this town is, I love these cars. Because, yeah, they literally make like a 3-point turn here. So, map creator, fix that, please. Absolute horror show when you're trying to drive around. So, yeah, if the map creator is watching this, somehow sees this series, and sees that moment, it would be good. Because I'm doing what I can to not turn the traffic off, but I am getting really, really close. Because there's some crazy stuff that goes on. Trying to keep the language on the video family friendly, but yeah, I'm not feeling family friendly right now, because there's a lot of work that's going in to what I need to do for these VIP orders, and having to fight with my location. You know, it's one thing about, alright, it's tight, and I've got to move around and so forth, you know, and I just kind of do what I need to do to get places. Goodness. See, this is where I'm like in a hurry to get things done, and then it's the old Alabama song. I'm in a hurry and I don't know why. I'm in a hurry to get things done. I rush and have no fun. That is probably a song about Farming Simulator. They just didn't know it. But anyway. Because, yeah, now I need to, like, line myself up and then get in here, and then, you know what, I'm going to move the other one, because you know what's going to happen. Like, I don't need this here at this point, so I just need it out of here. I probably honestly need to go park this, like, in this little corner shed over here, because it's been sitting there forever. I don't really need it. I probably won't need it, because it's probably too small. I honestly should probably sell it, but it's my only front loader equipped tractor, so if I need it, I kind of want to have it. Alright, but this should at least now put me in a spot where I can just get to the wool and I don't have to sit there and go around any other additional obstacles. You know, it's fun enough just trying to get by the pen here. You know, at least it's a large area I can back into. But, you know, we'll end up with a good amount, like, because at this point, obviously, it's going to pick everything up, which is okay. I don't need to limit it yet. But once again, we talked about needing 16,000 liters of wool. There we go. So, and again, like if the tractor was there, I'd be hitting it right now. I know wool is not accepted here. I'm not looking to drop anything off. Stop. It's going to be bad with this thing. I suppose I could just turn off the auto load or move the pallets. But I'm like, it's going to be bad with other things here in the future if I suddenly like pick it up and then just put it back in somewhere. Because like I'm thinking like the the potato place is going to be like that. Although I'm just making the vegetable fat and moving it or keeping it there. So I don't know, but I'll just have to turn the auto load off and maybe get the pallets to a point where they're not triggering. But I'm going to get this wool to the spinnery. That will get the spinnery producing. That will be a good thing because, as we've seen, I only got one pallet of fabric so far. We need a few of them. Because again, we need, if I recall, 4,000 liters of clothes. So I need 8,000 liters of fabric, which from this I'm going to get about 4,000 liters. Now again, I have almost 1,000 liters. There's a pallet getting ready to spit out shortly. But I just, you know, kind of need to keep checking, and what I do is when I come in, I check every, you know, I'm going to go this way because otherwise I got to turn and go in anyway. Ooh, floor tiles are getting good. So that's a good thing. We may be able to deliver those soon. We need, I think, 17,000 liters of those. We still need more than what we have. Good news is smoke is rising, so I assume that means it's still producing them. What I didn't check, it doesn't look like there's any more planks over there. So I think I've used all the wood. If I need more, I'm going to have to refill my sawmill. But we're going to be back in that position here where it like doesn't move and then it like jackknifes. It's so frustrating. I'm just going to blow by the building. Alright, there we go. So again, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, let it unload. It'll start producing. We're down to 1.1 million because we have to keep feeding the beast over in the greenhouses, so things are going. But while I played with the potatoes, I wanted to be in good shape. So, we need a potato harvester. At this point, because I don't know that I'm really going to get anything else, I think I'm going to rent it the first time. And then we will see how things go after that. If, you know, maybe the next 2 levels show up and I need it, we can go ahead and purchase it, but I don't know that renting it once is going to really be that detrimental to us. And the reason I'm looking at renting is this. $600,000. Now, what I can do is see if one of these ever show up here, but because, like, yeah, if I get 58% off, that would be a big deal. So I really need to keep watching it. I think renting, I mean, the problem is it's still going to cost me a fortune to rent. But this is at least, I don't know how many meters wide, but it's more than 1.5 meters, and it at least makes it reasonable. But yeah, it's still going to cost me $30,000 to rent. You know, but again, I'd be able to rent it 20 times, and the likelihood of me now the problem's going to be if I can't get enough potatoes out of this thing, then I might have a problem. Alright, so it's 1 to 1. So for 23,000, wow, I only need 23,000 liters of potatoes? Really? Well, that won't be bad, actually. I guarantee you I'll get that. Potatoes are very, like, that's one harvester full. But then, realistically, what I probably need to do here is I need to figure out where I want to put a root cellar. Well, it actually is telling me I can store potatoes. Can I store potatoes in that silo? I guess we're going to try that. Alright, so I am going to grab this. Because, yeah, I don't think I have a root cellar anywhere. So I'm thinking, because it does show in inventory, that I am able to store potatoes and sugar beets. You can see that here. I either have a root cellar somewhere that I'm not aware of, or I've completely forgotten about, you know, or we've got other options here. So I spent quite a bit of time out on Google trying to figure it out. Part of the reason, as I said, the goal of the series is not realism, it's to kind of get things accomplished. And so what I wanted to do was try to get the harvester to go the other way so that I could at least have some semblance of pretending that things were working and I was not just driving all over the crops. But everything I've researched says that's not possible. It'll always do clockwise, is kind of what seems to be happening here. So it'll be what it'll be. But I'm just going to need to go around here and unload this thing, or it's going to fill up pretty fast. Like, it's already got 3,000 or 4,000 liters in it now. Last I checked, I think by the time it gets to the end, it would have 22,000 once it runs one row. So we should have a lot of potatoes, but this may actually work out well, because what that likely means is I just don't need to, I probably just will need to harvest this field once, and maybe we'll never need to harvest potatoes ever again. So renting the potatoes harvester might have been the best move. I don't think well, I guess it doesn't matter if I redo the field in something else, because potatoes don't regrow. But, so I was going to say, I don't know that I'll use the field to plant something else in the future. But at this point, unless the potato need goes way up, as far as what the order quantities we're going to get, it would seem that I'm going to be in pretty good shape. But we'll stick around here until we fill up and then go try to dump this so that we both learn together, can I store in that silo? And then the bigger concern, I think, is going to be, how much space do I have? That, I think, is going to be the next problem, because I don't know that that silo takes that much material. So we'll see. I mean, I think we're past the halfway point. I have turned off the mini-map, I thought, just for visual, you know, and somewhat a little bit of immersion, even though obviously, again, I'm just driving through my field. It is potatoes, so in theory it should be okay. Yeah, I would have loved to go the other way and just have the harvester do its thing, and then I'm trying. I got my gas all the way down. I am using a smaller tractor, so we are going uphill there, and clearly that was too much for it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's keeping up. You would think that little bit it would have had plenty to dump, but it probably caught up very, very quickly. So it didn't actually do 20,000 by the end of the row here, but in the meantime, while it does that, I will let it keep playing around. I'm going to go now. We've got plenty. You know what? I'm going to actually set this to be 23,000. Let me just do that. No, it's only 18,500, so never mind. So let me just fill this up and then go dump it in the potato thing. And then I'll worry about the rest later. But at this point, I think I'm going to have to wait for it to finish the headland and then do the next. I don't think it's that little bit's going to get 4,500 liters, so let's let it do its thing. Hopefully it won't run into the tree and need me to reset it. Probably will. Alright, so I had to hop in and help it out. I had about 1,500 liters when I started the row. So yeah, it's probably still not going to be at the 4,500 I need. But yeah, we're gonna get, you know, 400,000 liters of potatoes off of here. And so unless the orders start going up to, like, you know, hundreds of thousands of potatoes, or some of the other recipes are different in some way, like, it's just not going to matter. But, you know, I know potatoes are prolific. But at this point, our potato processing facility is over here. So it is, if I recall, I think it's this building. Yes, Boema Processing. And I think I looked that up. If I remember, I talked about it in my setup. I think Boema is potato in Italian, so that's why I named it that. I could be wrong, but I think that was my logic. Oh, look at that. I don't have to go very far. So that's good. So we can start overloading the potatoes, or start dumping the potatoes. And more importantly here, alright, obviously it can take a bit, so that's good. Because I'm like, how many potatoes can it take? But for goodness sakes, it's a potato factory. Yeah, see, because let's see, are they all 1 for 1? Not entirely. The soup, we get more. Yeah, so it's always like the potatoes end up creating more or the same. So yeah, unless I get massive orders, which I don't think I will. I can't say that for sure, but you know, some of the things will just get complicated. Alright, so now I have 18,500. I need 23,000. So that basically means I need 4,500 now. So now I'm going to set this. And at this point, we'll run back over. I think I have it doing like 6 headlands, but then I'm thinking this is going to take easily the rest of the day, which is okay. I mean, yeah, it looks like I did see smoke for a split second when I turned around. So I think the floor tile factory, everything else is running as it should be. By now, I guarantee you it has 4,000 liters of potatoes in there, so I'm not worried about that. But yeah, this is done way more than I would have expected, which is a good thing. Yeah, I think it's going to have a problem on the other end, too. I was going to say, what is it doing? But it's finally moving over, kind of after the corner for the next headland. But given that it's gone, oh, well, that's great. It's like leaving some as it drives, so horseplay not so good with potato equipment, I guess. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to drop this off, and then I'm going to come back and get whatever I can get, and then we're going to see if I can store it in that location. I mean, I suppose I could. I'm just worried that there isn't enough room, and then I'm going to have problems with the other crops, because I'm pretty sure when I looked at that, it's got like a capacity of like 400,000 or 500,000 liters. It's not that big. So the last thing I want to do is, I mean, because potatoes are just going to chew it up if that's the case. So I think I just need to put a root cellar in, and what I may do is just put it over here in that space that I have, instead of trying to tuck it anywhere onto the farm property. Yeah, this is, yeah, it's 1.2 million liters, but wow. My concern is I'm going to end up with so many liters of potatoes, but maybe that'll be alright, because if I don't need to build it, that would be okay. I mean, I don't think I'm going to get 1 million liters of potatoes, but I would not be surprised if I have like I said, a couple 100,000 maybe, you know, approaching 300,000-400,000 off of this. So we got about 16,000, so it wasn't quite full yet. But that's the thing, like, it's gone most of that way. This might not be too bad, because, yeah, I might not even get 200,000, but it's just substantially more than I need. Like, I've already dumped 23,000, we've got 16, you know, so we're at 40,000. So we're probably going to get more than 200, but we're not going to be anywhere near 1.2 million. I was thinking I had like 500,000, and my issue is like, you know, if I need to store 300,000-400,000 liters of grain or something, it's going to be a potential issue. But I don't need to do that, so I think we'll be okay. But that way, because obviously I don't want to not use the potatoes, and obviously the option would be, well, I just harvested what I need, be done, but man, renting the potato harvester for 30,000 euros to just do that would be pretty crazy. Alright, this is not my root cellar, because I can't take potatoes here. So where do I have it? Alright, well, looking at the map, it may just be, honestly, some sort of error, because there's nothing on my farm. These are the 2 hay silos, so it may just be showing up there for some reason, even though I can't store it. So yeah, I'm going to need to just place a root cellar. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll just get the potato harvest done, and I will be back with you in a bit. It's been my second load, but I did take a peek to see what else we can do, because now we've got all the potatoes, so now I just need to figure out what I can do with other things to see if I can get moving along. I have some soybeans, which I didn't remember. I guess we did soybeans at some other point. So I have some, and I have enough, I think, for what I need, because I need 1 thing of vegetable fat. So I guess what I didn't do is work backwards, but I need 1 piece of vegetable fat for every 5 fried potatoes. So that means I only need 4,600 liters of vegetable fat. So what I was going to do then is go dump this and go get soybeans, but while we're dumping, I'm going to need to check, because that's assuming 1 for 1. 1 liter is going to produce 1 liter of vegetable fat, which it probably won't, because I have 11,400 liters. So if it's anything more than 2 liters, I won't have enough soybeans. If I go here, all right, so it's 2 to 1. So yes, so I actually need 9,400 liters, but I have that. So I'll be able to now set this, or 9,200, I'm sorry, because it's 4,600 to get, because I need 2,300, or no, I need 46. So I may not have enough. Well, that's terrible. Because no, I need... No, this is right. Goodness gracious. I need 2,300, because I need 1 for every 5. So that means I need, 10%, right? No, 20%. So I need 4,600 of those. So I need 4,600 liters of vegetable fat. And then, yes, so that was where the 4,600 came from. Me, oh my, oh. A little bit off here, for sure. So, as long as my brain is working correctly. So it's 1 vegetable fat for 5 potatoes, which is a 20% amount. So if I need 23,000 fried potatoes, that would mean I need 4,600 liters of vegetable fat to do that, which needs 2 liters of soybeans, which then is the 4,600 times 2. And yes, I did verify that that was here, and so I am good there. So let me get the soybeans. So now let's see. Yeah, there's definitely no potato there, so that was interesting. Alright. But I should be able to do the soybeans, not have the harvester stop, because it takes a little while, so I may only get a little bit, like about, whatchamacallit, 1,500... or 1,500, 100,000 or something of potatoes, because I've already just done 2 in storage there, which is less than 40,000. I don't know that I have 3 more harvesters full of potatoes off this field, so this may be less than I thought, but still, obviously, I'm already almost at 2 times, well, I will be, certainly, with what it's harvested, 2 times the potatoes I've needed. So once again, unless the orders start ballooning, and even if they do, you know, at least we'll know what we're going to get off this field, and then we can start to make an educated decision of, yeah, we still want to rent the harvester again, or for 600,000 we want to do something. I was honestly thinking it was a $300,000 machine and worried about it, but with a $600,000 machine, that's like, ooh boy. That's just crazy. Alright, so with the potatoes I have, ooh, it didn't technically give me credit, but we'll see how that goes. So let's see, the vegetable fat. So now the question is it distributing or storing? Because I don't want it to output any. I don't want it to sell it. So maybe we'll just do storing. But basically at this point now I can activate that and start producing the vegetable fat. But I am going to need, well, just water and onions. So yeah, I'm going to need basically 9,200 liters of onions, which I think we've got. I'm not sure. I probably can't pick them up by just driving over, but let me get the potatoes harvested, and then we'll worry about the onions, and we may be able to get that moving along here, which would be most excellent. Alright, so we've got another 1,000 liters here of fabric, so I can get that over because it's loaded on my truck, and then I can go ahead and move the onions over. And we've got, what, 8,000, 12,000, 13,000, 14,000 floor tiles, so we're getting very close there. So we need 16,000 floor tiles, so we basically need that upper level to fill. Smokestack's still running, so I think that means the floor tiles are still being created. Maybe a little closer than I want to be there, so let's... Whoops, nope. Clearly I underestimated what I need to do there. But let me get over here and get that dumped in. There we go. And at least that way we can easily come out of here. So that gets us there. He's still moving along. I think we'll be okay. So again, I need 9,200 because I need 2 onions for every 5 of the potatoes. But at this point, like, as long as I have 9,200 here, I just don't know that I have that many onions. But if I do, then I'll be in good shape. So let's see. Hopefully it'll pick these up. Come on, you can do it. I'm wondering, because this may be a fill type that it doesn't know how to deal with, because this is from the potato processing thing, so I may just have to do it another way. So this won't quite work, but oh well. Alright, so at this point I've got potatoes. I've got vegetable fat. And I have got onions, 700. So I am going to go ahead and activate these. And then in theory it should start consuming this vegetable fat. So this may actually then kind of get where I need to be. At this point I'm just waiting for the potatoes to be done. I've run over all the onions I have. I need one more crate of them. And I think basically the potato needs to go up and down. It should be able to finish the entire field without being full. I picked up the last group after running some of the onions over and only had 10,000 liters that were in there. So I just need to wait for that to be done. But at this point, again, a pretty good couple of days. You know, we had to move things along because of what was happening. But let's just take a quick look at the orders while the potato finishes up, and then we're going to wrap this episode up. So tomatoes, again, we've delivered 19,500 almost. So we've started that. We've got the fried potatoes now producing. Canola has to be grown, so we haven't started anything with that yet. Milk, we are now at 38,000. We've still got 60,000 liters of TMR. And once again, I should have 2 more loads. Basically, I should be able to refill this completely again. So I'm feeling pretty good that I'm going to be okay on getting the milk. Wheat is obviously growing. That is going to be, I think, next episode is where our focus will be, other than just making sure everything keeps running. Floor tiles, as I said, we're here. Got 4 rows of 4. You know, 2 high, or 4 rows of 2. So we've got 8 in the back, and then 6 up front, and we need 16,000. We've got 119 producing. And we are out of long planks, so I need some more wood. So I will need to do that as well. And then olive oil, it looks like we are completely done with that. But if I'm here, I have... not quite sure how much I have. I have 6, 7, might have 8,000. I need 17,000 liters, so I don't think I have what I need here. Well, that's disappointing. So, looks like we're going to need more olive harvests, but again, we don't need that till the second set, so we're fine with that. And obviously we're, you know, waiting on the lettuce, and triticale and spelt have to be grown, and the cloves are already beginning. So you can hear the sewing machines working away. But yes, no output yet, so the 321 is what we've created, which would make sense because it's 2,000, you know, it's 2 fabric per clothes, and we've used basically, you know, we had 2,000 that we put in there. So that's about right, 650. Alright, interesting. It looks like he filled up before he was done. Well, that's disappointing because I was hoping to just be done when I was done telling you what was happening. But clearly not, so I've got a tiny bit more. Obviously, I'm going to return the potato harvester when I'm done here in a moment. And then I'm actually going to start the other way, so maybe he'll just start moving, but he probably won't. No, it looks like I think I heard him fire up, so... But now that I'm facing that way, we can empty him, and he will definitely finish, but I will have to come back one more time. But at this point, I think we've done some good progress, and most importantly, we started filling those level 6 orders with the tomato delivery that we did. If you're enjoying the series, you've enjoyed the video, but you have not dropped a like for this yet, please consider doing that. That actually helps with the YouTube algorithm, gets things out and about a little bit more. And if you're not a subscriber yet, please consider doing that. As of the time of this recording, I am still a little bit shy of 1,000 subscribers. It's going to take... you know, this is for kind of next weekend, so it might be a week before this goes up. You know, good Lord willing, I'll have hit that amount by then. But if not, if you can subscribe and help me out, and even if we're past it, obviously then we've just got new milestones that we're going to keep working toward. So, would love to have you along for the ride a little more officially by being a subscriber. Doesn't do anything, doesn't share your information or anything, it just lets you find the channel a little bit easier, and again, lets YouTube know, hey, this is a channel that has a good amount of subscribers. Maybe I want to recommend it more often because there's people who are sitting here regularly coming back and looking at content. So, If you would do me that favor, that would be great. And with that, we're going to wrap this up, and I will see you next time.